How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Makers Making Podcast, episode number 21. That's right, we're drinking age now, everyone. 21st birthday or something. Um, I am Projects and Dad's Garage, aka Alex. With me tonight, my buddy and yours, Captain Kern, creator of Chaos and Thingies.
Yes,
Cap, how's it going, man?
pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm a prettier version of Projects in Dad's Garage. Pretty tall.
It's true. Yeah. Not as tall as me, but he's tall.
Eh. This guy's like
Uh,
12 feet tall.
yeah,
Nah.
true facts. Oh, my camera's glitching. So yeah, we didn't have an episode last week because I was traveling to Rocky Mountain. That was really fun. Um, we'll get into some discussion of Rocky Mountain here shortly, but Caps prepared some highlights for news and the like for what happened over the last 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. I mean, oddly enough, over the last 2 weeks, there hasn't been a lot of action in our hobby, but there has been some. You would think with the two biggest shows of the year, there would be jam packed with a bunch of fun things. But there were a few notable instances. Um, the biggest one was today, actually, the Core One Index. Well, yesterday. Let me correct myself. Yesterday, the Core One Index system was officially announced for order. However, buyer beware. It actually won't be shipping until June.
It's better than some other pre-orders, though.
That's
If
very
it
true.
actually
I mean, at
ships,
least
then
it's not a Kickstarter. I mean, there is that. It's not a Kickstarter.
yeah.
So there is that. So yeah, I mean, but it's about, I think it was $800 for the 5 heads and about $1,000 for what was it, all seven?
That math doesn't math.
No, it doesn't.
Um, yeah, because isn't it supposed to be like $35 a head,
Yeah, about that.
and like
That's what they said.
350 or something like that for the tool for your base thing. So
Yep.
let's hope that there's some clarification on that. I'm not gonna start throwing stones and then have to walk back comments made. Gergman, yeah, we're talking about Index from Bondtech. Um,
Well, it is in fact on Prusa's website right now. So
oh yeah, let's pull it up.
let's go check it out here.
Bruce attacks or not, like
I mean, yeah,
that math doesn't make sense. Jumping up $500 to add what? What'd you say? Two tool heads?
I
The
know.
two tools that
Five.
are supposed
Yeah,
from five
five,
to
and then
seven.
seven or five and eight. I can't remember what it was, but we'll find
Yeah,
out here. Let's find out here. Parts and accessories.
you want to share your screen?
Core One. Yeah, let me get it open here real quick.
Yeah,
Uh,
but when you're so if you're going from $500 and then each tool's only supposed to be $35, adding 500 more dollars to add three $35 tools, that math doesn't make sense. Clownhammer, how's it going? Clownhammer, you gotta jump on here, bud. Um,
yes, we need a clown hammer.
spent quite a bit of time hanging out with Clownhammer at Rocky Mountain.
Ever the gentleman, by the way.
So
So
here's four tool head index, four
four tool
tools.
heads, and then the 8 tool head is $1,000. It's still, the math still doesn't math.
No, it's closer, but still.
Yeah.
You're stuffing your face.
What are you stuffing your face with?
I'm imagining pizza, but
I
Kegel,
say
what's up,
lasagna.
man?
Lasagna.
Clown Hammer. I got filaments showing up tomorrow. I'm going to tell you what the filaments are, and you guess, tell me what I'm building, okay? I've got 85A TPU. I've got 95A TPU. And I've got TPU Air. Feel free to post your guesses in chat. Wrong answers only. I don't know.
I say that you're building a basketball,
Mm. It would be a terrible basketball. Uh,
a bowling ball.
the the TPU Air is for the tires, that's for sure. I'm building a dragster. Soraya Tech was kind enough to sponsor some filaments um, to build the dragster with. Sending over some PET CF, 95A, 85A, and TPU Air.
Kegel, I definitely feel like I need a neck brace today. Holy smokes.
Shoes, a new hat, neck brace. No, I'm out of the neck brace, thank God. That was
Has
a
anybody ever
miserable
printed a
month.
belt out of TPU? I think I want to do that. I want to try that.
Hey, anybody
Oh,
know this guy?
who is?
Someone left the
How
door
did?
open.
Damn
The
it,
heathens
Alex!
have all shown up.
Close the door. Damn it. We don't live in a
Uh,
barn.
what's up, brother?
Good morning, good afternoon,
Well,
and good evening. Hello, boys. I'm Maker Millwright from the Free Heathen
technically,
Workshop.
yeah. How are you, my friend?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are you, my friend?
Uh,
I heard Alex is under the weather as well. Hi, boys. I'm
yeah,
sorry
I
I'm
feel
late to the
fine,
show,
just
but
in
I'm here.
pain. So yeah, it is what it is. There's Mr.
Raj,
How we do it in chat.
Tinkering Techie. That's an excellent name. Lawn charts for the current generation. Yeah.
Look at all these
Uh,
new people. Hello, new peoples. We love
Brick,
you.
how's it going?
I brought the animals over. I always tell the animals are going to be here, so we
DJ
try to help where we can.
Magneto.
Raj, you're going to have to come on the show and show us the index when it arrives.
Raj's gonna have to come on the show because I didn't get to meet Raj when I was in Manchester,
I know Raj is such an awesome human being. I love Raj.
and I've
Raj
now
is
learned
awesome.
my lesson that we're gonna have a booth at Murph as best as we can, because first come first serve. So we'll be probably the first ones at the door.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm nervous as always, but I'm excited to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I'm not
so
nervous about
excited.
anything.
Yeah, well, lucky you. I'm so excited about it. I've started making maker chips.
Look at you.
Congratulations.
I generally don't make any particular amount of maker chips. You know, you might have the specialty ones if you ask for them, but I generally don't make them. So, and we learned our
Bobblehead.
best how to.
Bobblehead. Bobblehead.
I dislike you strongly, sir.
I'm going to cut its head off and actually put a spring in its head.
There should be a way to do that.
No, there is. I already know how to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to cut its head off and put a 3 millimeter drill and take a big pin. And, bing. There you go.
Brad's building his
No,
death racer.
no, Howdy. There's no need. There's no need. We don't need like a.
Dank Think Tank. That's a fantastic name, by the way. I was looking at
That
that
is awesome. Yes.
in Discord chat the other day.
Digital Dragon is a wonderful human being, a good man, a very smart creator, and we're very proud of him. And we wish him all the success in the world that he's having. I can't wait to see him again at Midwest. I haven't seen him in 2 years.
Luke is wicked fun. Ouch.
Um, so on to the next item of news. What do we got?
Oh, the next item in news. Well, staying on the Prusa topic, Prusa recently launched their Connect subscription service. If you guys haven't heard about this, it's an interesting little ordeal that they've got themselves into. They give you their base service gives you 20 gig of storage for a number of different things, video for time lapses and so forth, and your obviously your model files and all that. And then their online slicer, it gives you longer slicing times because apparently the shorter slicing, the worse the worse the slice is. And they start that one off at $8.99 a month, and then they have the premium one that gives you obviously more storage. And oh, by the way, they get high definition camera streaming. And then you have the premium, which, like I said, is $30 a month, and you get more storage. You get longer slicing limits, and you get access to a bunch of other features, including the Prusa Connect farm for adding more printers, such as a print farm setup, which the price obviously goes up from there. And it was an interesting, when I was reading the article about this, it was an interesting ordeal because we predicted this months ago that a lot of the companies were going to be going to a subscription model for certain services. They beat Bamboo.
The thing that I'm curious about, what are you storing on the cloud?
About 3,000 files, something like that.
No, but what files are you storing on Prusa Cloud?
Oh,
If you're
I don't
storing
use.
STL files, there's a website that just does that for you for free. It's called Printables.
Well,
so
we don't know what the level of encryption or privacy that is on Printables yet. They haven't told us. So I assume with Prusa, it's a way to store files privately and without interruption.
That is my guess at this point as well. And that's all I have as a guess because, oh, look, there's a clown hammer that we can't hear.
He broke his mic again. But no, I think that's what... that was one of the big things when I was talking to Thangs is like, I said, well, because they always talk in tech speak, but they were talking about, workflow this, workflow that, iteration this, which allows people to collaborate, which I really liked.
Hey, Kevin.
And it was very private.
There we go.
Better? Okay.
Hey, Kevin. Thank you for all the stuff, Kevin, just so you know. Just we're going to give you a little
awesome
shout out
seeing you at Rocky Mountain, Kevin.
It was great getting to hang out with Kevin. So I got to hang out with Kevin Saturday night. That was a lot of fun.
So I worked really hard. I still don't really understand how I did it, but we managed to get into the K2 Kevin format for the Maker chip, and we're actually using the frame that he designed, which I think is really great. I don't understand why there isn't keeper studs in the middle, though.
Can't you just print them and pop them on there?
Well, they're threaded. Let me show you. So I get it. Like, I get it to hold it all together, sure. But I don't understand. So
isn't there a top piece that sits on top of it and then screws down?
Well, I thought I saw that, but I didn't see that in the main file I downloaded. So maybe I'll have to go look. But,
he just answered in chat. The studs help remove the insert.
So this is so I can pick it up. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not worried about a cap for this or anything then? So I don't need a cap
because you got the lid to the box that I guess holds them in there.
There's a top piece. I didn't even know there was a top piece.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there is. Oh, there is a top piece. Okay. Yes. So I'll have to find that and print that as well. But that is because the recommendation, because I've been asking like crazy, right? The recommendation was 500. That comes from Big Jano, so this is 500. So that's what we're going to do.
Oh, nice. 3D Medic Vince actually answered the question about Prusa Connect. He said, when you send a print?
Send a print.
Send.
To a Prusa printer via Prusa Connect. It auto saves to the cloud for you to retrieve.
Okay.
And then, of course,
that's interesting.
We made the Maker Pult designed to launch Maker chips. But, as always, challenge within the community, we made a 250% scale version and a 250% scale maker chip to go with it.
Nice.
Well, actually, we might go bigger because this is actually not the maximum limit of what I can manufacture.
Is that considered a 3D printed firearm at this point?
Don't say things like that. I live in Canada.
I'm trying to get him to add a compliance mechanism to it so that it's spring loaded.
If you live in Colorado, Washington, California,
Listen, I don't want any
I'm
problems.
just saying.
Stop that.
dang,
I'm just
we're
saying.
Colorado. They're just as dumb. So
But yeah. So yeah, the whole Prusa Connect thing. I'm not sure the purpose of it at this point. Other if you don't have a Prusa printer, I don't think it's
It doesn't matter.
for anybody that doesn't have a Prusa printer. So,
But at $30, that is quite the option for your
it seems
printer.
a little excessive. I mean, I just can't see the guy with the MK the MK3 sitting there going, I'm gonna pay $30 a month for that.
It's well, like Thangs was doing that originally, whereas like Thangs with the free access, embedded security,
Hey Jerry,
multiple access, thing, right? So I see that going out into other companies, especially now that Shapeways owns Thingiverse. Sorry, not Thingiverse, Thangs. And now who just bought Thingiverse? My Mini Maker Factory, which they
Yes.
use an encrypted system as well. They allow they allow model purchase and they allow subscription. So we'll see because I haven't really looked much at Thingiverse, but yeah, it's 3D HP.
Things
Yep.
changed.
I
haven't
am
been over to
not
Thangs
a
in forever.
fan of Thangs. And it's actually on a D-spin. They need to talk to some community members and listen to what community members said. The reason why Thangs got as big as it was is because community members were allowed to have an opinion on it.
So let's be fair to it. They just bought it. They're still in a reorganization stage. We have no idea how they're going to change the atmosphere of that website. So
Thangs has been owned by Shapeways for some time now. If you're talking about Thingiverse, that's
Thingiverse. I'm sorry, Thingiverse.
Yeah, I'm gonna let My Mini Maker Factory do what they do. They have a good site. We'll wait and see what they have to say. But the people are talking about how Thangs has gone downhill, and I agree. The last time I looked at the Thangs Maker competition, it was 20 people. That's it. And there was
I don't even go to
votes.
Things. I don't even go to Things anymore because it's almost as bad as Cult 3D when I just try to load the website and it just dies. So
If I can, I
Cults
always
has
prefer
been very
GitHub, but
Cults has been weird with showing the model and the site will load, but then nothing shows up. You got to sit there and wait a few minutes.
I will say Cults does have one of the easiest monetizing side of things. You upload your models. Next screen is price. It's very straightforward, very easy to use. And Cults has a literal ton of cosplay stuff. Absolutely.
the problem is the website just doesn't work.
They are independent, so they don't have a big company backing them. I think there's only like 4 or 5 people that work with Cults. So, and there's a lot of issues that does come with Cults for sure. But it is a really, really good Cults. It is a really good.
You know what? I'm going to go with Brad on this. I'm going to pitch in here. I'll pitch in $5 to buy Cults.
I got a
he's
couple.
got
He's got
5 on
10.
it, guys.
I got 5.
I got a couple pounds.
We got $15.
No, I got
There you
another
go.
20 pounds.
Wait. I got another
English
3.
pound.
That's $18 right there.
And
I
then,
got a $50. That's 50 cents. It's not a $50. It's half a dollar.
yeah,
I mean,
a lot of
I'm
things.
pretty sure that anybody with a gigabit internet connection can make that website work a little bit better.
Probably.
It's not just that. It's client side. It's creator side. So a lot of creators have left Thangs after the Shapeways takeover. A lot of them either went back to Patreon, which the whole goal was to get them out of Patreon and onto his host website. And now they've all gone back, and they're not happy about it. I've never really been big enough on the website to really have an opinion. So I've enjoyed it, right? 18 months.
We have
I
a
got an
celebrity.
oversized maker chip.
Yeah. Ouch. I just had a cramp in
Liz,
my
how's it
back.
going? Yeah, so Cults
Hey, Liz.
Cults is one of those sites that it's really hard to get on. It loads so slow. Um, it looks like a scam site. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It
It
does.
doesn't.
It looks rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
But it is
Oh.
one of the best sites, if not the best site,
Yes.
to get cosplay stuff. It's incredible how many cosplay designers are on there.
Yeah. But the
I
problem
mean,
is when the images don't load, and I have no idea what in the world the model is that I'm supposed to be looking at looks like. That's a problem.
Yeah.
well,
Right.
my biggest problem is half the time I've actually gone to Colts, found a model that I really, really wanted to buy, because there's a lot of
Here
good
you go,
stuff up
close
there.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to buy it, and then you can't get the transaction to go through because the website's busted.
Yes.
Mm.
I have tried talking to them. Again, it's not a lot, but
Anyway, but there is all these things going on.
oh really?
But
15K.
so some other news that popped up is really truly an absolute surprise in the chaos that has been the last 2 weeks. Anycubic decided to just do a quiet launch of the Anycubic Cobra 4. No
really?
fanfare, no advertising, nothing. It just popped up on the website.
Okay then.
What is
They
it now?
revealed it. They revealed it at Rapid. The Anycubic Cobra 4. I actually have a picture I can bring up. Hold on.
Yeah, please do.
And this is actually quite funny. Let me bring it up here.
Now, is the Cobra the bed slinger one?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, his stuff.
I think didn't Dave and Terry get one similar to that?
It's on my screen share. So there we go.
I
And these
removed
a
it.
small number of models, but they're good models, man. They're nice looking. Be
Well,
nice
there's
if they weren't just
what?
renders, though. I'm
That's
just catching up.
Bombtech Index there.
Just checking up
Yeah.
with chat. Just reading what chat says.
Share screen. Where in the world? Window. There we are. So it just popped up on their sale page, for sale page.
Huh.
Right there.
So is it a clone of the bamboo?
It's if you look, it's exactly like the Cobra X, just without all the print heads.
Huh.
I mean, without the multiple print head.
Sure.
I think Clownhammer said it best when he said, huh. All right, next topic.
I agree.
Most
Interesting, not a big deal.
Most intelligent thing I've said all day.
And it's like, so why? That's my question. Just why?
Can it be converted to a Cobra X?
I have no idea. The
build
weird
plan.
part is there's really not much information on it. They launched it, but there's no information.
Brad said it's a bigger Cobra X.
Oh.
Yes, it's bigger. It's bigger than the Cobra. It's bigger than the Cobra X. But yeah. So we're left wondering. The little information that I do have on it. Let me go back to my notes here.
Phil, you mean to tell me that people are having meltdowns on Facebook and Reddit? Impossible, sir.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Not only that, but are angry that they're not getting the same price as founders who supported the project while it was still being developed.
Yeah. So it was a surprise reveal at Rapid, and all it does is it updates the Cobra 3 design with the bubble-like white aesthetic of the Cobra X. It features a 4-filament multiplexer compatible with the Ace 2 Pro filament boxes, like just like the Cobra 3, and that's it.
So they gave it a
It's
paint job.
just up. It's just It's just another bed slinger.
Huh.
It's just an update, yeah.
Yeah,
Another Cartesian.
it's
Nothing wrong with Cartesian.
and it was just a weird twist that they go, oh, we just launched the Cobra X, but we're going to launch this too.
Like
There's no
they
marketing
forgot to
budget
put it
for
into the. Somebody had to slide it into the shot. They forgot. Oh shoot! We forgot to post this one. Quick, throw it up there.
Yeah, literally. It's it's like okay,
Well, I
and
mean,
then
marketing budgets are a thing, right?
they are, and they spent a lot of money marketing the Cobra X. Let's just be upfront about that one. It was everywhere.
Hmm. Thought you were calling me a loser.
Mine doesn't do that for some reason. Still moves.
Maybe
I love
do
it.
that. It might spin around again. Put us into the orbit mode.
But I have to say, the most impressive thing that came out of the news altogether was Snapmaker's U1 coffee maker.
She was talking about that at Rocky Mountain. I guess she ran like 15 gallons of coffee through that thing at Rapid.
They made a coffee maker, people.
Yes.
Let's all acknowledge the fact that coffee's fantastic. So
It is, but I don't know if I want my 3D printer making coffee.
You print a Benchy
it
and a
goes
cup
on
of
your
coffee.
It goes on your 3D
know?
printer. I thought this was a standalone item.
It changed all the heads. Instead, one was coffee, one was creamer, one was sugar. I'm assuming probably simple syrup and different. But yeah, it was a different head for each thing. But yeah, it was.
That's pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. But
can you imagine setting up a coffee shop and just having a whole line of snap makers?
John Doe has a great idea. Voron PC case with V0 on the front, coffee maker in the back.
There
I can
you go.
do it. Don't tempt me. The V0 is coming. Don't tempt me.
We've been waiting for the Voron shower for years, so no reason we can't get the Voron coffee maker.
They got the Voron PC. Well, unofficial Voron PC.
And then the other news outside of Rep Fest was the Bamboo X2D.
Yes.
I think everyone pretty much knew that X1 replacement was coming. Mm-hmm. I was surprised to see it be a dual nozzle setup. It's got some drawbacks to it, with the second nozzle being Bowden driven versus direct drive, but still, when you think of it in terms of bang for the buck, what you're getting for the price, right, at $100 more than a P2S, to add a second nozzle and add that capability for support material and such like that. Like, yeah, it's probably not a great idea to use that as like a second color kind of thing. It could be done, I suppose, but
I actually kind of psyched myself
out. So, Gergman, I didn't expect it to be anything more than just a refreshed X1. So I was still expecting single nozzle, single extruder, just repackage, probably get rid of the rails, and just tighten some stuff up. But to see them go to adding the extra thing, I think. So I understand it that people are disappointed that the X2D secondary nozzle is not as capable as the one in the H2D. It's not just a smaller H2D. But at the same time, it's significantly cheaper than the X1C was,
Yes.
and it's adding capability to it. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. And maybe some people were expecting more with the uh, X2 printer, but I wasn't. So I was pleasantly surprised, and you know, not having the 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 financial leap from an X2D to an H2D is quite significant. I think, yeah, it's got active chamber heating as well. Um, that was kind of the
I just
extent of what I thought the X2 would just be like an X1 with added chamber heating and an upgrade and a changed nozzle to over to what was on the H series printers is what I was expecting.
I just have to say, bamboo. With all of my complaints with bamboo, they kind of nailed the mark on this one because one, they created a printer that solved an issue. They completely revamped it, but they also didn't do a pre-order. They said,
Yeah.
"Here, guys, it's available and buy it now."
Well, every time this stuff goes to Kickstarter or something like that, I find it frustrating. It's different like with the U1 because that's Snapmaker's first real adventure into specifically like 3D printing tool changers. Like the J1 was also on Kickstarter, but Snapmaker's a much smaller company than a lot of these other companies. So to see them use Kickstarter, but yeah, pre-sales and stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't get it.
But just the fact that they come out
I
with
don't.
they completely revamp the machine and they give you a support nozzle. I mean, that's essentially what the second nozzle is meant for. It's support material. And they go, look, here, this thing is, and we all know bamboos come out of the box. They print really, really nice. I have a problem with their ecosystem, not their printers. Okay. That's my issue.
But that's like apples, right?
And then they come out with this machine, and it is so underpriced of what was expected, and it's available.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It just blows my mind that no other company does that. It's like all
Yeah,
the other printers that we're waiting for right now are all on pre-order or are all a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
yeah, I appreciate the fact that it was like, here's new printer on site now, shipping now. Go get
Yep.
yourself one. Um, that's how it
It,
should be. The at the very most, I want to see here's printer. We're announcing it today. You'll be able to place an order. We'll be shipping them out at the end of the week. Like,
yep.
a new iPhone gets announced. Guess what? Order it today, but guess what? You can go pick it up on Friday. We
Yep.
just need to know where to distribute stuff in the meantime.
I
Like,
in a
I
little hold
hate
on.
the I hate the pre-order today, Kickstarter today, launch date to be determined. Oh crap! I ordered this printer 6 months ago. Something new came out. I'd rather have that,
Well,
but I
here's the
can't
thing.
get my money back.
FlashForge just did that today.
Yeah.
They just announced that the Creator 5 hit the 15,000 mark, and they're going to start doing the pre-orders.
Yeah, not if, well, but in defense, if it's a brand new thing, say the U1, say the K1 from Creatality, the recycling machine. If it's a brand new product, brand new to the market for you, I could see going to Kickstarter. But if it's an updated version of existing machine or modification of existing machine, I don't see a need I don't like that they would go to a Kickstarter. I don't like that they would go to a pre-order. Go to your manufacture, and go from there.
Yeah, let's be honest. Most of us can tell when we look at a Kickstarter whether that's a Kickstarter because the company needs the funds to get manufacturing started. We did the R&D, and I want to see at the very minimum for Kickstarter. You've done the R&D and you've got a minimal viable product, right? Like it you've proven that this thing works. Now we just need to be able to manufacture at scale. We're asking people to buy it ahead of time to fund getting that ball rolling there. Not the I've got a random idea in my head. I'm going to put it up on Kickstarter. And then the other ones that really piss me off is when you've got the money, a company has the liquidity to manufacture said product without taking my money first, but they're using Kickstarter as a marketing device.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're seeing the weight of a product in market. That's fair. You guys make valid points. Chad also makes valid points of the exact same thing. The thing is like look at Loop though. See, like when Loop first announced, everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know if this is real. I don't know." It's the same thing that happened with the Bamboo A1. Everyone's like, "I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this capability. I don't know if this price point is available," and they're now a year behind in production, and they had to go and rebuild their machine. But they're a small company, and whereas like they were saying Cretality, any Cubic, Snapmaker, where they go to do a Kickstarter, it's like you said, if they have the liquidity or the resources to go to that, why are they doing a Kickstarter? Which also I think is a valid point. I like the idea of it's available. Give it a pre-release, like we're releasing Friday. You can buy on Friday at this time. I see no issue with that. I do see your guys' point on the abuse of Kickstarter. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Another thing that I would like to see happen. I've complained about this in the past. Snapmaker did it with their U1. They sent it to a bunch of content creators who are not all, but many of them are just there to make a infomercial for a machine, cash out on some affiliate links, and move on to next infomercial. And they did that machine in particular a large disservice in the quality of what they were showing off. Companies, I understand, you send it to a smaller creator, your exposure's not there, you've got a marketing budget, you got to see return on your investment. I understand. But all the creators want to talk about all their requirements for, if you're going to send me stuff, I've got to be able to talk about it, whatever like that. There's got to be something on the manufacturer side that says that you got to spend more than 2 minutes hitting a slice button with a pre-made profile, sending it off, and then showing off a dozen shitty fucking prints.
Amen.
Yeah.
And if you're showing off a dozen shitty
thing.
prints, I want you to go in your video. This is the thing. I understand that the layer stacking in this looks like hell, that there's ghosting on this machine. I did everything I could to get rid of it. The machine is crap.
If you send me a printer, I'm going to abuse the snot out of it.
The problem
I'm going to torture that thing.
That's my attitude, right? That's my attitude on anything that goes to the show. The show is I'm all content sponsored. That's it. I don't buy my own stuff. That's the way it is. But the reason why I like the live stream element versus the YouTube video is you see the faults, you see the problems, you see the issues, and you go from there. But it's never going to make you any money because you're not going to be on their priority list of oh, well, they did a good commercial for us last time. Ooh. Let's get them another new one. Oh. It's the same with any media, be it Disney, be it Warner Brothers, be it whatever. If you're there to basically toe the party line, it goes. It's you're breaking your machines, showing the repairs, showing the disassembly is a different story than, like you said, showing a bad print that hasn't been tuned. Even speed ratios right now, right? Because each machine has a different bunch of speed ratios, either the built-ins or customs. That's all. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with it. I like your attitude where it's like, send me the thing, I'll break it, and then I'll tell you how I broke it and why I broke it and what it did and what it can't do. And I'll design around its limitations and its successes.
I'm not even saying to like try to break a machine. That's not what
No,
I'm
I don't want
saying.
to.
I'm
I'm going
saying
to
this.
abuse it.
Yeah.
I want somebody like, and they print like these prints that are like the Majora's Mask thing is what, like 10,000 swaps or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, but then before they did that, they never took, take a day, take 8 hours, dial in your profiles, run through calibrations, right? Take your filament that you're going to print with and run through some calibrations.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, go through the trouble of getting whatever filament you happen to, if you, let's say you're using Polymaker filament, at the very minimal, go to their website and download their filament profile. Don't run, company X's generic PLA profile.
Well,
Um,
I'm bad for that because I create my own profiles for Polymaker. So
that's fine. That's what I
I'll take the
want.
heat. I'll take the
That's what
heat.
I want.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I want. I want creators
Yeah.
to take the time,
Make the
some
profile
profiles,
versus
and
the
show off
yeah.
what the machine
Yeah.
is capable of, not what the machine does with whatever crappy profiles they threw together
So
just to get the printer in your hands to test.
here's the optimal review video. Here's a stock profile. Here's my profile.
Mm.
That's the best review right there.
And I
This is
don't
what
even
it's
think
actually capable of. This is what it ships with. This is what you do when you take a little bit of time and you tune this printer.
yeah, that's fine too. And as YouTubers will be
Because
like, I don't want part of my thing is the company doesn't get to see my video before it gets published. Excellent. Zero fucks given, bud.
Hmm?
What I want to
you know,
see is the company go,
yeah.
it's all right if you don't want to show us your video before it launches, but we want to at least see the samples of what you're putting out. Right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
also understand uh, you know, there's been some blowback for some creators before that showed off the sample prints that the
Mm-hmm.
manufacturer sent them. I understand that. You shouldn't be doing that either
Oh.
because who
Yep.
knows what machine that was printed on. Okay.
Or how well it was tuned.
I can send you the printer. I can send you my CR10 clown hammer for a review.
Right.
Here's the prints I want you to show off, and I printed them on my Centauri Carbon. How are you going to know?
Yeah. Oh, look,
Like,
you just take it off
look at
like
my
it just
Magic Bed
finished.
Slinger that prints ABS, and just sends you the prints made on something else. Like,
With no
who knows? They've got reviewers have to do a better job. Companies have to do a better job of holding creators responsible for making sure that they put out accurate information. Telling me that a machine is great when it's not is a problem.
And well, and
Showing me
well,
stuff that says that printer is garbage when it's not is a problem.
what was
and
it?
in the same token, yeah.
Fohammer did a review on a printer, and it was an honest review. And he was contacted. They wanted him to take the video down. He said, "No, I'm leaving it up. It's an honest review of your product. Get
Funny
out of there,
And
enough,
see
butthead."
that's one of the
like people
problems
have
that
their
I was just going
opinions
to
about
mention.
Fohammer,
What's
but
that?
Yeah.
Fohammer's video on the U1 was the only one that showed off some prints that looked decent. I
That's what I
watched
was
the
just going
video
to bring
late,
up
but
is there are us creators need to hold companies accountable and say, look, you sent me this printer. I'm going to review it honestly. I'm not going to feed my audience bull crap.
That's been my experience. I just simply say, like, this is what it is. I'm going to run your product. I'm happy to run your product. I'm happy to run your machine, but it's going to
And
be live streamed. And
it's
for good or
probably
bad.
why I don't get printers sent to me. So,
But
Yeah, no,
remember,
I'm
because
like any other review
I'm
process,
not going
right?
to I'm not going to feed my audience. I'm not going to feed all of you, my friends, bullcrap information and just basically flat out lie to you. If the machine is crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap.
Did you just read
You
what
know,
Howie posted?
yeah.
No.
About on more news, Bamboo has color coded their nozzles and used their camera to block the printer from running if it has an aftermarket nozzle.
I
Wow.
didn't see that in the news. That's new information. Well, that's going to come around to bite them in the butt.
Well, what about the Fetus Dragonfly and all that other, all these
Like I said,
aftermarket?
Well, diamond
it's
nozzles.
going to bite them in the butt.
Yeah, diamond nozzle. Yeah.
And they're really, really
But
excited about
in
doing
the same token, all the aftermarkets will come up with a way to bypass that, like they do everything else.
Well, if it's a color code, not an RFID, like the spool, you just anodize it or whatever to get around. I mean, that's being petty. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I realize why they're doing it, because they don't want to support aftermarket parts. Just like, the whole argument they had with BitQ. Well,
Yeah.
that argument didn't hold up, and now they're working together again, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they did a whole.
I see that as an easy thing.
Right?
Like Diamondback's going to work with Bamboo, and Bamboo's going to send them whatever it is that they need to mark the nozzles with. I imagine it's probably a function of the printer being able to tell what is loaded into the machine more than as a side effect. It's come after putting in aftermarket things.
and I can guarantee you, I can take a brand
Intentions
new
matter,
printer.
but end
I
result.
can take a brand new printer straight out of the box and make a bad print. I don't care what printer it is.
Yeah.
Well, I
I've
find
been
like
fighting with this one.
the stock settings, like for me, never work.
Yeah.
Temps are out, speeds out, like all of that. Like and depending on what you make, right? It's like I always say, those big test prints that they do, they're nice and all, but they don't. Like, one of the things I always suggest to people is, if you're gonna print a model for a test, you want to test your supports, you want to test surface area contact, you want to test overhangs. Whereas, like, a benchy doesn't do that. A benchy is nice, don't get me wrong, but a benchy is meant to show off, banding. And
No, you run a torture test.
Yeah.
So, and then you tune the heck out of it and run it again.
And one of the things is, like, if it can't run supports, that's a major issue. And you'll never see something that says, oh, well, here's a test profile, make sure you run trees, or here's you want to use zipper supports or whatever. It is what it is, right? Especially with more finite detailed, like high precision or cosplay stuff that have very nice sweeping edges. It's not machine parts, it's an art piece that's being processed, right?
We have to pause for a moment. Mike is in chat. He is anti-benchy.
I'm anti-benchy. I've printed one. And
I've printed one.
You can go back and see my very first benchy. It was the speed benchy video that I have posted from 2 years ago.
I printed the inflatable benchy.
I went 2
I'm
years
in the process of making a
benchy.
Death Star benchy, so.
Yeah,
Death Star benchy?
I've done one.
Yeah.
I did it for Crispy Rillos because he hates peeps, and it was the peep benchy, and I only ever made one. I just design my own stuff, right? So it's like, when I want to test a machine, I'll print something that I know works, like a bow tie, because I can do bow ties, right? And then
Liz.
there you go.
Mm.
Damn it!
Actually,
Ow,
she's
I
the one.
hurt.
I gave her the inflatable benchy last year at Rocky Mountain.
Oh, oh, this hurts.
Got
You
stuck
all right
to your
there?
phone.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I think I may need to reboot my computer. I keep getting 600 error codes on this thing, and cameras
Yeah,
glitching
gross.
out, disconnecting from the internet. I think maybe it's time to do a nice reboot on this thing. The old turn it off, turn it back on again routine.
Mm-hmm.
So
but yeah.
outside of that, was that all the news we had from outside of Rocky Mountain?
Well, no. There was a little bit of update news about the Palette 300, the 12 nozzle printer from Atom Form.
Yeah,
Mm.
It
Red
apparently
Cloud's
is a
never
real
said it
thing.
best.
Oh, I
Yeah.
missed the one with the rotating nozzle.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
That fascinates me. I
So
just don't know how efficient it's going to be.
Yeah.
I have no idea how efficient it is, but apparently it is a real thing. The startup Atom Form unveiled the Palette 300. Apparently it was at Rapid, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but it has 12 nozzles and it's designed to print in multiple colors and materials without a lot of waste.
The thing that
So,
surprised me about the palette printer, right? I'm not going to say any names, mainly because I know it is. But there was somebody that was complaining about the H2C's filament changes with the switching nozzles, and then was so stoked about that palette printer. And I'm like, what kind of logical hurdles do you have to
yep.
jump through to complain about the Bamboo's nozzle changing system and then be okay with this one?
Phil just nailed it in chat, by the way. Palette got thrown to market because
Yeah.
Index was looming on them.
Yeah. Shout out Bondtech. Super nice people. Super interesting product.
They are really nice. I got to talk to them at Rocky Mountain.
Yes, yeah, they're
Um,
pretty interesting guys. But I mean, I think this is going to be the year of multiple nozzle, exchangeable nozzle printers, and they're going to be coming out of the woodworks rapidly.
Well,
I
that's
will
what we
say,
saw
as
with
far
color
as
changers, right?
Bond
Yeah.
Tech Index goes, the only way I would be interested in it is if it was on a Prusa. I have no desire to put it on a DIY printer.
So it'll be, it's going to be an interesting year because I have a feeling that the Bondtech system is going to be on many commercial printers here very shortly.
Agreed. They sure, like when I talked to them, they sure seemed to know what they were talking about. They were
I've put a
certainly
lot of
excited about their
time
product.
into it.
Yeah.
I think they need to work on their back end for their website, and also, I don't know. I wish they hadn't have done the Founders Edition pre-order thing.
Yeah.
When was that?
Mm.
Back at Sanjay Mortimer or something?
It was quite
I
a
think
while
they watch
ago.
too many video games, honestly. The Founders Edition thing, oh, that'll stem from the video game industry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
I just wish they would have been whenever they had inventory and they were ready to ship it. Just do that. Form next. That's what it was. Yeah. I just because there's so many people that put money down on it, and they're just sitting there with you know. It goes back to the
But
Kickstarter thing we were talking about. But
yeah,
it's just me, old man, yelling at clouds, I suppose.
get off my lawn, you little. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of yelling at clouds, my trip to Rocky Mountain was exciting. We got to fly right through a storm, a level of turbulence that was thought I was going to die. Legit, like I thought I was going to die. Most of the other people on that plane thought they were dying too. There was a lot of screaming, a
Oh,
lot of
really?
freaking screaming. Oh yeah, because we just dropped. We were weightless, floating.
I was
Welcome to Colorado.
exactly. Oh, air? We don't have that here. No, it just keeps
Yeah,
on going
no, it
away.
was just it was so when we took off, there were storms coming through Indiana, Illinois, and everything. So we took off, and we weren't allowed to get up out of our seats for over an hour into the flight before they allowed us out because the turbulence was so bad. Right. So bear in mind, I had not flown since I was 5 years old, and I watch a whole lot of airplane crash videos. But
Oh, lovely.
yeah, I've restarted. I missed a few while I was gone, and in my hiatus of watching them leading up to Rocky Mountain. Uh, but so then we're diverting. The flight was an hour longer than it was supposed to be because we're trying to fly around all these storms.
Oh,
Um, but they could they could not get south of the storm coming through Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle, and we're down at like 2,700 feet for some reason, 27,000 feet for some reason, at like 40,000 whatever, and we just flew right into that storm. And holy hell! Uh,
was it a full flight?
what's that?
Was
Oh
it
yeah, it
a
was full.
full? Oh, okay. I was on one that was like a quarter full, and we hit a storm like that, and the flight attendant said, "Oh, calm down. You guys have paid $20-$30 to ride a ride like this at Disneyland."
If it makes you feel any better, my trip to Chicago, it was rough 2 years ago, and I don't have a travel companion this year with me to make it easier. So I feel your pain. If it makes you feel any better, because it's always easier when you have someone to travel with, right? Because at least you're both terrified.
Yeah, down under maker
Well,
that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
and it
But
didn't help. It didn't help Alex's nerves that I tried to kill him, and then Denver tried to kill him on the way to a hotel. So
Yeah, I heard you say you did some stunt driving or something, but I
I
didn't
had
hear the
to.
full story.
Denver doesn't know how to drive, so
No, they don't. They don't. They're it's bad.
Wasn't it
yeah,
snowing when you guys were heading there?
so when I left home, we left here at my house here about 2 in the afternoon, and about halfway to Denver, which is 2.5 hours from here. Uh, about halfway
Jonathan,
through,
that's about it.
it just nothing. There was no snow. It was clear skies, no wind, beautiful weather. It was just my son and I were looking, going, "What happened?" It was
Yeah, when
we
we
were
had
going through an absolute snowstorm. I'm like, I can't see anything. To what? Hello.
yeah we got there like is it gonna snow? We don't we drove the whole way. It was crummy looking, but it wasn't doing anything. And then we get there, and I was giving what's his name, Safe, a hard time. It was like it was snowing fairly decent, but he's covered head to toe. He looked, and he's out because he was out parking, helping people park. But I'm like, I stuck my head out, and I come back, and it's like covered. I'm like, I thought you said it was snowing. This isn't snowing yet. It's not sticking. Poor guy. He was out there for for a few hours, but that's okay. Can't pick on the people.
It was fun. That's what I could say. The whole trip was an absolute blast to me. Especially
Yeah.
having Alex come down and being media for the first time was an absolute experience. Being able to go places that people shouldn't go,
Yeah, it
which
was.
there really wasn't anywhere to go. But
I was gonna say, well, yeah, they and he does a good job. Justin does a good job with it.
he really does.
He puts on a great show. So, and yeah, it was a good time. I'm considering I was there all the whole time. I sure missed a lot. But
Do you guys want me to file
You were
numbers for
hiding
it?
the whole time, Clownhammer.
well, I was back at the maker stage first thing in the morning, and then I was out for 3 hours with the death racers and the dragsters, and then I was back at the maker stage. So between running between the death racers and the drag racers, I didn't really have much time to go look around because I was back in the maker stage.
Yeah. I love the
But
dragsters. Guys,
oh yeah,
listen, we've got to have a talk, okay? I want to make myself big because this is serious.
oh, wrong guy.
I was going to say, Alex, you just got that's just weird.
Yeah, right.
So, the Death Racers are awesome. Nothing
Mhm.
against them. They're super sweet, okay? But the number of Death Racers at any event dwarfs the number of dragsters.
Mhm.
We need to get more dragsters out there,
Mhm.
okay? I can tell you that there's going to be some kits that become available for them soon
Yep.
at a price that is going to be very appealing. Um, and as far as printing goes, they seem like they are going to be way easier for people to print and build
Cool.
A lot of
than
heat sets, though. There's a lot of heat sets.
doesn't matter. Buy
Yeah,
yourself a Frax. Go check out Fabrico.
exactly.
Can you get
Yeah.
away with
Um,
self tappers?
What?
Would you be able to get away with self tappers?
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
Oh
Um,
no,
Because
no, no.
here, let's see. Is this Delmar's frame?
Tell
I
us
got to
more,
ship
Alex.
in.
Tell us about the
so,
anger of the drag racers.
and here's why, right? Because right now, surprisingly, the rules are uh, you're limited to brushed motors,
Yep.
and I would like to see more classes added to them, right? So you could do your stock class, whatever, with your brushed motors and whatnot, and then you could go up to brushless and allow people to use tires that aren't 3D printed at that point. Like, there's a lot of room to escalate the dragsters that does not exist in the Death Racers. Um,
Well, the dragsters were. Scott came out with it in 23, I think, was the first year of it, and it kind of took off, but not really. But now I think with the kit coming out, so I mean, this is your frame here. This is actually Delmar's car. I got a bunch of stuff to send back, but a lot of the heat certs are pushed all the way through the frame. So you use 12 millimeter, so you get some rigidity when you bolt this whole thing. When you put it together. But yeah, it would be fun to see different. It'd be fun. Would be funny cars.
That's what I
that
was
would
thinking.
be.
Because
A 3D printed funny car.
I've seen the dragsters, like, depending on what you make them out of, like, deformed by the heat. Like a funny car. Look at the tires on that.
So these are Del Mar's tires.
What's that frame printed out of?
No, that's not it. It's I think it's still in my printer actually. It's the nylon. Elegoo PAHTCF.
Yeah, I started
Is
printing
what we
stuff yesterday. And I was printing it out of carbon fiber nylon too.
right.
But
Which
so crawlers would be cool too, Cybertech. But these things are so dead simple, but have so much room for people
here, let me get
to
my.
tweak and tune and
It's
customize and way more skill than just randomly driving in circles trying to knock somebody's head off. There's a lot more skill, even though it's a simpler build.
Yeah, it's just like
And
regular
potentially
drag
far
racing.
less expensive than a death racer as well.
Well, it's like regular
Um,
drag racing. You got to hit your. You got to hit your. You got to hit your. With the tree. So my tire here. Let me see. Oh boy, put the dragster through the window yet. So here's my tires are.
Wow.
So it actually tore. One of them it tore. I got about 15 runs out of it. Oh, there's
as a
where Rich
side note,
tattooed me.
as a side note, who won the drag races, Clownhammer?
That'd be me. Both
I was
days.
going to say, yeah. I mean, we got
But
the
yeah,
the Rocky Mountain champion over here.
hey, I'm a car guy. What can I say? But yeah, Rich, STL Rich, he gave me a custom tattoo on this side here.
A little bit of rubbing, eh?
Little bit of rubbing, but I have to I'm actually reprinting this panel because it's my XR bunker panel. That was all the damage I had from him clipping me at the end of the track, which is pretty minimal considering what he did to that other guy's car.
So, I'm going to ask you a few questions just so people have an understanding
Sure,
of requirements and stuff like that.
sure.
Um,
It's gonna stay.
how much filament do you end up needing to print one?
The frame takes about a spool. The panels take, I don't know, you could probably get 30 panels out of a roll of filament. There's not much to them. They're pretty thin. I mean, here, let me grab. I mean, these are the panels. They're very thin. So all the panels are basically like this. This is the cockpit with the magnets I mean, even the cockpit's not super thick. The magnet's probably way more than the material.
Yeah.
And then you do TPU on the fin on the wings. So you need a probably spool. These take quite a bit of filament. They're pretty. I don't know what they're printed at. I'd have to look again. But they're pretty.
So, I have a question. Why TPU for the wings?
Have you
Absorption
been
a
hit
little
by
bit.
one?
I haven't, but somebody got tagged last year. But yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, I know the gal that won the dragster from Fabrico. She didn't get much time to play with it, and she almost took out her husband twice. It went right toward him.
Yeah.
I mean, because just I mean, I realize these are just they are RC, but aerodynamics does matter, even in the short 80-foot run or whatever it is. But
Right.
TPU does have quite a bit of drag to it.
It does, and it's for absorption, and it does keep and the weight of it does add. The rear wing does add weight to help plant the rear tires.
Yeah. So there's no like requirements for like infill settings and stuff like that. So you can mess around with all that
Right.
to do weight distribution. You
Right.
know, you can make it light or you can add weight. So you add traction. There's so much stuff you can
Right.
do with it.
The only limitation is the brushed motor and the 3-cell battery.
And then the frame, the wheelbase has to be unmodified.
Right. You have to leave the wheelbase the same, so it's like at scale, and everybody has the same wheelbase. The tires have to be 120 millimeter by the time you run them, like the ones that we've been running, you wear. I'd have to measure mine to see how much I wore off of them. Yeah, Kegel, you can. I think you can. There's nothing that says you can't.
Yeah.
And like Justin was gonna, because he can't win. He's like, I can't win. He says, I'm the guy hosting. I might as well just go have some fun. He was looking for a 4-cell battery to see if he could do anything. But yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you can actually on Maker World, the drags. If you do RMRRF Dragster Edge of 3D, he has the files out there. I saw them. I was going through some of my tabs. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Because it'd be interesting to do like the shell construction and relative different infill.
Yep.
Like
Here,
that,
I'll post it
like,
in private.
Like lightweight PLA, yeah, may not bond to the super hot stuff, but you'd still get the structure. It would be a little crinkly, but it's like if you can get your weight way down, and just change where you're putting load in the machine. Alex, I think it's like you said, right? It's because I guess you got some experience with RC or whatever. There is a lot of opportunity to do weird things.
Yeah,
for sure. Like
so
BattleBots.
the reason why I like it over Death Racers, not that I don't like Death Racers. I want to build one. They look super fun. That would definitely be what I had my daughter do at an event, right?
Sure.
But with the with the dragsters, adds not just a level of modification. I'm going to make my Death Racer look cool. It is for those of us that really enjoy getting into the nitty gritty of technical stuff, physics, and
right,
some programming stuff. I'm not going to give away too much of my own ideas for things. But
right.
there is a lot that you can do within the rule set to eke out an advantage.
Here, let me go grab. See, I had 4 sets of tires, and I didn't know which set I was going to run because each set had a little more. That was actually the set that I decided to run. I never messed around with any others. I took it out here on the street, and that looks fast enough. It looks like it grabbed. And if you watch in the, there's a video I posted on Sharing Makes and Pezliz's channel. I put the dragster up in your beer fridge.
There.
For some reason, it wouldn't let me put it in the chat.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
You could watch the dragster flex when I hit it. You could watch the thing flex. Let me go grab.
But, the first print off the Dewinder's done. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Can't see.
Nice. So yeah, that's why I'm really interested in it, and I really want to see it grow because the more people do it, the more people are going to start messing with it, and the more the more people doing it at a show, the more attention it gets. The more people want to build one for the next show, and then also remember, right? So you got other variables between your different shows, right? You might do test hits outside of your house, all right? But the asphalt outside of your house is going to have a different coefficient of friction than the surface at the event. Like Rocky Mountain was done on some coarse concrete.
Yep.
Sounds like 3D Printopia is going to be done inside, which is probably going to be on polished concrete. That's going to be interesting. And then, you've got 3D Printopia last year, as an example, was done on a loading dock, so it was uphill. So you had weight transfer to the back, right? And you have to compensate for that. Like there's a lot of room for people to. Right now, most of the cars are, for the most part, pretty even, but there is so much room to. Because so little has been done at this point, it's a great time to get into it.
Are you allowed to onboard like Arduinos or ESPs or?
There's no rules against it.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet anyway. Okay, so This is what a lot of the guys run. It's a fuzzy skin, solid. It's not solid, but it's a no infill, fuzzy skin tire. And then let's see.
Are they? Is anyone doing like a rubber cement liquid latex top?
No,
Okay.
not that I've seen. They could be, and they just aren't saying anything. So this was, what is this? This is the Seb's Air. The Seb's, not Air, Seb's, the hell is that stuff? I think it's in this dryer. Seb's 95A, and it's pretty stiff. And I don't know what these, Delmar printed these, and these have some give to them.
Is
I don't know
anyone
what these
doing
are.
bias ply tires? Like, are they doing like an outer shell and something like a TPU 85 and a core of TPU 90 or 95? Is that because like I assume
Possibly.
the hub infill, right? I assume those bolt together, those hubs.
No, the hub is
Oh, look
printed.
at Raj being awesome.
Well, yeah. What's that?
Look at Raj being awesome.
Celebrating
did,
1 month
yeah.
of membership. Thank you, Raj.
So the hubs are printed, and but are like I have the wheels out of the nylon. I did it out of the nylon. I don't know where the heck I did it with them.
But they're assembled, right? Like
right.
It's a tire with a hub, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's the screws run through there's actually like a hub in the tire.
Oh, so do you need a hard spot in there? Like, do you need to use a reinforcing material, or can you do it all out of TPUs?
That's all out of TPU.
Okay.
And then this is the wife's death racer. Her weapon kind of got destroyed. Her rider got beat up, and somebody T-boned her and snapped the. This is better than what she did last year. Last year I had to reprint everything but the frame. But yeah,
That's
sure.
the other thing too about the dragsters, right? So if you are the death racers, you are subject to repairing and replacing based on others. The
Yes.
dragsters, for the most part,
Yes.
if it's broken, it's because you failed. Like obviously, you've got people that might run into you or something like that, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it is your own fault.
Right.
Until Sunday afternoon.
I did have a discussion with Conhammer and Delmar, and I
Let me see
think
if I can.
Shammy was out there when we were talking about it too. I'd like to
Yeah.
see some of the rules for the racing set up to mirror NHRA rules, where if you cross the center line, you're DQ'd.
Right. Well, and it
And
started out like Scott said, it's a gentleman's game kind of thing.
I understand that, but adding some standardized rules for that kind of thing isn't
Oh, I'm not
bad.
disagreeing. Yeah, because if you cross
The
the line, you should be disqualified. Yeah, no, I agree. But
the reason for the crossing the center line thing is that when uh, it wasn't too bad at Rocky Mountain, the heats that I saw run, but at 3D Printopia it was, where people after they cross the center line they're still trying to get their cars straight to try to get down to the end of the race, and if you tell people you cross the center line you're DQ'd, people are less likely to try to keep going, straighten it out, save it, whatever,
well,
and hurt people in the process.
so Saturday, we called him the car cleaver on Sunday. He crossed over, went through, and cut the other guy in half. Finally regained control and was able to cross the finish line and finish. Otherwise, yeah, he went through that guy like he was not. It was pretty bad.
I have to say, I was sorely disappointed that there were no duct tape dragsters this year.
Well, we didn't have a ramp last year. Somebody brought a ramp, so that's where that came. Kegel. There was a tree last year. This year we had a flagger. But yeah, last year, and I'm looking into it to see if I can build one out of an Arduino. That's what that guy did. A drag tree, and let's see if I can get this thing apart. Where's my pocket pry bar? Yeah, yeah, there was a guy last year had an Arduino full tree that you staged in when you stepped on a button and staged in, and then it didn't tell you who won. It didn't show you at the end. We had the kids at the end like we did this year that were telling everybody who won and that type of stuff. But yeah, it was. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, see, last year I was driving Shammy's dragster because he went home sick, and I don't remember who it was, but they came into my lane, and I drove around them because I didn't want to wreck Shammy's car.
Yeah. So,
but
that's a lot of fun. I want to see that grow at the Rep festivals.
Oh yeah,
because
there were 18 cars on Sunday and 17 on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it almost so at current it kind of feels like an afterthought for the event, the dragsters versus the death racers, and I understand the death racers are always going to be a bigger than the dragsters because it's easy for little kids. It's
Right.
just carnage, and everybody loves watching a train wreck.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you're out there to decimate. Like they say, you're not out here to kill each other, but that's what everybody's out there to do.
Yeah.
Jesus Jones, this is not coming out of here. It's
a snug that's fit. That's pretty sick, man.
It's a pretty snug fit. Almost there.
What do we got over here?
There we go. There.
Martin's building a big Greg. Also, it was really cool. It was really cool to see Silver Fox Industries with the Nerf blasters at Rocky Mountain.
That was fun.
I was talking to Cap about this, and so historically in the 3D printing community, there has been, and for those non-Americans in the audience, this doesn't really necessarily apply to you, but it doesn't. It does at the same time, right? So the 3D printing community has kind of historically ostracized those that are into the 2A side of 3D printing. And I understand why. But with the current things going on, it is really good to see people understand that we are all one community and that you cannot just ignore something because it makes you a little uncomfortable or whatnot. You got to remember that we are all one community, and things that they do to one will end up affecting others, right? And I think that's fantastic. Yes. There was a lot of talk at Rocky Mountain about legislation coming down in Colorado, in Washington, in California, in New York, and how it's going to affect your ability to 3D print anything, right? Even own a 3D printer, right? You might not be 3D printing 2A stuff, but you also wouldn't be allowed to print, a Flexi Dragon because you can't pass a background check to get a 3D printer because they're worried. Like, this stuff has effects on everybody, whether you plan on printing 2A stuff or not. And I think it's really good for the community to start coming together and understanding that.
Yeah, look at cosplay. Look at all the different props in cosplay.
You want to go print a Warhammer pew pew, from cosplay. You can't print that, with some of this stuff going on.
Well, it makes me concerned bringing over something like that. because I have a few designs for bolters and things like that I'd love to show off at the show, right? But my concern is that in my luggage. My concern is bringing that to the event. So it's just like the Nerf blasters thing, right?
So somebody did get stopped. They did have their Nerf in their carry-on, and he had to explain to the TSA what it was. They eventually let him take it on, but he kept. They kept the magazine. So at least they didn't take it, but they kept the magazine. So here's the inside of it. This is the one-piece tire.
Yeah. All I can recommend to somebody that's taking a Nerf blaster through TSA is
Don't
to
put it in
follow
your
the same
checkbook.
TSA guidelines as if it was a regular firearm.
Right.
Save yourself a lot of time, hassle, and explaining. Right.
Right.
I got stopped on the way back by TSA, and they searched my stuff because of spools of filament.
Yeah.
Somebody else had that happen.
You want to know why?
few-
You want to know what they thought it was that they didn't want me to bring on the airplane? Tape.
Really?
Huh? Tape?
They were worried that it was rolls of tape.
Oh my lord!
Really?
Me coming back from Smurf, I had a reel, and even the company was like, "Don't leave it in the bag, take it out, and take it out, make sure it's available to them." And it was a full stop, like 15 minutes at the line, because it had the density was too high or whatever. So, there is.
I get stuck. I usually my laptop bag will get kicked because I have 10,000 cables in there, and they don't trust what it looks like.
Well,
I can understand.
I want to bring my laptop, and that's a concern for me. There's been a push for me to bring my Voron, and I don't know, right? I don't know, and a lot of this travel stuff is, I get where they're coming from, but also it's going to be an amazingly huge thing in the future. We're at the bleeding edge of this technology.
I would advise you not to bring your Voron, and it's not because of the trans issue. I have no doubt that you could manage to package that okay. The issue is that it is going to be sitting on a table in an environment that is likely to be extremely wet.
Yes.
And unless you want to replace electronics and anything metal in that printer, because rails, carriages, balls and carriages, lead screw, there's a lot of stuff that does not like moisture in a 3D printer. So I would not.
Okay.
So
because I don't know what to bring, right? It's like I said, you guys know way more about these events than I do, but
man, I would pack up some samples of your models, the things that you've made. I know that transporting a lot of that stuff is going to be difficult, enough to feel like a table. Talk to some of us in the community. I know, like, I've printed one of your models. I know that Howi3 Dewit has printed some of your models. I'm sure that we could get some and print some samples of your stuff to put on your table. That way, you're not paying exorbitant amounts to bring two checked luggage bags and stuff like that full of models.
Yeah. So back to the subject you were referring to, based on a conversation that we had with a couple of individuals, I took that to heart. And over the next couple of weeks, I actually have Zoom meetings scheduled with about 6 different legislators here in Colorado.
Oh.
And I'm going to try to use that to educate them. And these are a couple of them are friendly educators. There was initially 3 meetings. Now there are 3 that are unfriendly meetings with unfriendly legislators.
Well, and I think
the 3
that's
that
the
actually
biggest...
were made. Yeah, the 3 that were the major sponsors of the bill that just passed.
Interesting. But a lot of it, I think, is education, that they don't understand it's plastic. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not just, there's If you outlaw pew pews, only the outlaws will have pew pews. Same thing. Things can apply here.
But what
People
I'm
are
going to try to reach out to them is the education part of, they don't understand that they're not affecting anything except for the education and the hobby of thousands of Coloradans in this state.
right. Right.
And,
And at the
because
at the end of the day,
we
this
have
stuff doesn't
this
make
state,
anybody safer.
this, no, it doesn't. But this state has never had a ghost pew pew issue. Not one.
The pew pew laws here are higher and harder than most other states, and the problems that we have, it show laws don't stop people from doing what they want to do. Do you
Yeah,
drive the speed limit everywhere you go? I mean,
not
let's
in
be honest.
Denver.
But you know what I mean. It's all wishful thinking on a lot of this stuff. These are not lining up.
It's full of good, and it's wishful thinking of good intentions. But the problem is they don't think down the road of what
No,
the consequences are. And
no,
it's like the last bill that they passed in Colorado a couple of years back. They had to go through an amendment and amend that bill because they forgot, well, to exclude gunsmiths and schools.
Yeah.
They
So
made gunsmiths and schools felons.
at the end of the
right,
day, the stuff that they're trying to prevent is already illegal. Making
Yes, it
people that
is.
choose
right,
to violate the existing laws aren't going to care about your new laws.
right,
Um, and then the other side of it is that they keep passing laws and they keep going to we're just going to let the courts sort it out, right?
Yep.
Oh, we can
right,
pass this bill. We're going to get some votes from the people that care about this. We know that it's going to get thrown out in court. It's going to take like 2 years. So we get to this for a couple of years. And by then, some changes have happened, and maybe we end up with half of what we wanted. And it's really messed up, right? That's not how legislation is supposed to go. Because last time I checked,
No.
there was three, right? You got the executive branch, you got the judicial branch, and you got the legislative. You're supposed to write laws based on the Constitution, not write laws and then let the courts figure it out. Because
right,
if we're just letting the courts write the laws, then why are we paying you?
right.
What are
Yep.
you doing if
You're
it's
not doing
just
your
left to the
job.
courts to sort it out, right? So
I
Right.
that
mean,
is what it is. I don't want to harp too much on this because it is what it is, and
no.
Well,
I know some people are one way or the other about it, but I encourage you, regardless of where you stand on it, to educate yourself, to take a long, hard look at it, see
Absolutely.
what's actually going on, see what the actual effects and ramifications are
right,
as a whole, not just does this accomplish this one thing that I care about, and I don't care if it messes up anything else. Like take the time, pay attention to what's happening in the world today. Um,
I want my children, and my grandchildren to be able to just go to a printer and print whatever they want 20 years from now.
without having to
I don't want them
get a
to
license.
to get a license or a background check.
and the other thing
You
too,
know,
I'm going to say this, okay, to those, because there's some people that are making this way worse because they're trying to protest something,
they're
right? So,
yes,
as an example, gun buybacks across America, a lot of folks have 3D printed receivers or 3D printed uh, fake firearms and taken them in, turned them into these gun buybacks, and have gotten money for it. Right? and it was a kind of a middle finger to the gun buybacks. But all you did was put a target on the back of 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just drew a target on all of us. If you're doing that, stop.
Yeah, because now you're proving their point. Oh,
Yeah.
see, look, they can do this. We said they could do this.
Yeah. And also, you're taking money out of their pocket. They're like, we paid how much for this plastic? Oh, no, we're not doing that. Right.
Right.
So,
I'm having a hell of a time lining this up.
be,
But you know,
be, be constructive with your objections to stuff. Right. I
Protest
know.
smartly.
Yeah. I can be old man yelling at clouds too. I get it. But
Sure.
let's,
Well, just like with anything, there's a right way and a wrong way.
yeah.
And don't give them a reason to use the wrong way as their reason, because that's what's happening is they're, oh, well, these guys did it. See, we told you.
yeah, I just wish that, my only wish is that everybody will educate themselves and use common sense and not feelings in the whole process.
Did you just say
Because-
common sense? Where the
Yes, because the whole problem is, feelings is where we got all these problems to begin with.
Well, yeah,
I feel that this is going to be scary. Well, guess what? It's not. Common sense is where it all needs to begin with. To above and beyond everything, use some
right.
common sense and
Be
learn.
smart.
I understand, but also I hate the common sense thing, right? Because no,
Okay, use
I'm
some
going to tell you
smarts.
why.
How about that? Use some smarts.
Because common sense is great for making. You've got to make a quick decision on something. This isn't making a quick decision on something. This isn't a common sense thing. This is a let's dive into it thing. Let's pull it apart. Let's get into the nitty gritty. What does it
Well,
actually do? How's it end up affecting?
Well,
The common
the
sense is a snap decision. What should I do here? Left or right? Left or right? Left or right? And
no, the common sense part. What I'm referring to is does this make sense or not?
right.
And it does not make sense. At first glance, none of this makes sense.
Right. So what
If you
happens
take
at
the
a
feelings part out, it doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Ow,
but
damn it, this hurts.
let's work our way further around the Rocky Mountain Rep Fest auditorium from
Yes.
Silver Fox. There was a lot of bed adhesive manufacturers there.
Yes, there
Oh,
were.
yes.
I would be very curious to know. My assumption every time I see a bed adhesive is it is essentially the same thing as every other bed adhesive. And great. I'm glad you're trying to make a company and trying to sell stuff, and I'm happy for you. But if you're just selling me the same product that I can make at home, I can buy from anybody else.
So the Texas, the one from Texas, I used their stuff I got it a few years ago. It works really good. It works very well, and it's like physically sticky, almost like I'm going to say the word, but like hairspray.
Yeah.
It's sticky. It's a liquid stick.
I was actually more impressed personally with the father-daughter team of Black Magic. There, camera, go. Yeah, there we are.
So
After hearing their
my
story,
assumption is
yeah.
that it is all this in different ratios.
Probably.
Right. With some coloring or something added to make it their own.
Teslas, I haven't tried it. And no, I didn't try Panda Treats. I missed out on that. I have not tried it yet. But I will be. No, I haven't even opened the package yet. It's still sealed. So they gave it to me for free for testing. So I will be testing it, and I'll be giving them an honest review.
I have no doubt that it works. I don't doubt that any of them work. I think it's essentially the same thing in a different wrapper for all of them. So I'd really like to see if any of you Beta teachers happen to be watching. If your stuff is different somehow, tell us how.
Got real elf's blood. No, I'm just kidding.
Plus, it's also a veteran.
Tell
He's
us
also
how.
a veteran, so
Well,
I'm
there's
here to support veterans.
right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's just fun. They're a Colorado company, and it's a father-daughter team. I'm real I'm real chuffed to
It
actually
blurs.
try it out.
Oh, so black magic blurs the hollow effect. Okay, that's good to know.
So
I didn't get
it's
any
good
of
to
it.
know.
But...
He didn't mention anything about hollow plates in his little pitch to me. So,
oh man,
a point of testing.
unicorn drool.
Um, there was quite a few filament manufacturers there. I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted some of that quantum dots filament from Protopasta. I
Mm-hmm.
just
I just yeah,
they're at
$6
$40
for
for
50
half of.
grams.
Well, let's say you buy a spool, right? A spool from Protopasta
Yeah,
is only half a kilo, and it
Here,
was
let me see.
$40. And anything that I would print with that would be large enough that I need two spools. $80 for a kilo of
yeah.
filament is in
I actually
well into engineering grade materials, right?
yeah, I actually have a picture of it of the filament, by the way, because that did come up.
Yeah, there's some teeth filament. I don't understand that.
It was a. It
Is
was
it teeth?
a. It was a April Fool's joke that they decided to make. Like the tooth fairy comes and gets your teeth and then turns it into filament.
But yeah,
Quantum
Protopasta makes some
dots.
crazy nice filament.
Yeah.
I
Crazy
mean,
nice.
that's gorgeous filament, honestly, right there.
Yeah.
No, if I was independently wealthy, I would probably print a whole lot of Protopasta filament because they make some nice stuff. But
Yes.
I'm not. Um, uh,
Well, that's protopasta iron embedded that's been oxidized.
Well, and Blood of My Enemies, and those. I mean, they have some great colors.
yeah, I've printed way too much blood of my enemies. Honestly,
Oh, have you?
I need more
Uh,
Protopasta. If
yeah, and
you want to sponsor
actually,
me, hook me up.
and then Kaizen's maker chips. I don't know if it'll show right or not.
Oh, it bounces.
I can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's red and one's yellow, and they're 3-piece chips. He did a. He did a. That's the dots. That's the wrong one. I should have taken the other one apart. That's the yellow.
See, why didn't I get any of those chips?
I don't know. I got. He only had. He said he had a limited edition of them. If you could, there
I
you
did.
might.
I handled maker chips differently at Rocky Mountain than I have at the past. In the past, I tried to get one of every chip off of the tables.
Right.
Rocky Mountain, I did not do that.
So
If
this
I
one looks
already
fun.
had the chip, I did not pick it up.
Right.
Like if
So
I've
yes.
gotten it from another show before, right? Because
So
I think that you should have make something new every year, right?
sure.
Uh, Kevin
And
and Pezlip have a website where you can even like log and catalog your chips for what year and stuff like that. It's really cool.
oh
Um,
yeah, I need to update that.
and then I also didn't grab a chip if I didn't stop and talk to the people. Um, there's just some tables that you know whatever they're doing, while absolutely cool, I'm sure they enjoy it. Was not something I was necessarily super interested in, so I walked past, let other people stand and talk to them, and moved on and tried to get as much out of the show as I could that applied to me.
Sure.
Um,
I don't know that between Lisa and I, if we got 50 chips, because we like walk up to people, hey, here's a chip here, because I did not go through nearly the number of chips that I did last year. I probably, if I gave out 200 chips, I think I would be surprised.
I brought about 400 and I came back with 150.
Okay. I
And that's
gave
just
hers,
walking around. I was shocked that I gave out that many.
and there's guys I gave chips to that I didn't get chips from, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I didn't even think about asking them for one.
I
But
think I gave
yeah,
a
I
chip to
tried
just
to.
about everybody I talked to.
same here.
I
But
tried to hand
well,
them out personally. There's a few tables that had some displays that they were collecting chips, and I had stopped and talked to them, and I gave them my chip. But for the most part, the
wow.
chips I handed out were to people that I stopped and talked to outside of vendor tables.
But Kevin, you're cheating because you're the designer of chips. Everybody wants your chips.
Those chips
Well,
are
and
very nice.
he's
They're
like the
sick. I
bank.
mean, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, he's like the bank though. You're gonna take your chip to him.
Yeah,
He's gonna.
exactly.
So 700 before noon
Chips are
on the
awesome.
first day. Wow.
Yeah, I went up to. It took me a while to find Kevin and Liz's table. Not find it,
Mm.
but find my way over to it.
All right.
Um,
I
and
couldn't find it for
so
the first half of the first day. So,
I gave Kevin my chip. He said he didn't have any. I told him I didn't believe him.
Uh,
I got a chip. It's got a different color, like sun or moon. The one I got was blue. The one I had previously was yellow.
yeah. The copper. It's like a copper. Oh, the moon. Yeah. But the copper on the outside was really cool.
Yeah,
But that was a lot of fun. I
yeah,
mean, we'll do it again. And
I didn't do
yeah,
the
and
snap
and
maker card. What was that, Liz? I saw some people like getting stamps or something on a
yeah,
little card.
that was to win a Snapmaker U1.
yeah, when are they doing that drawing? I didn't. I filled out the card, but I didn't see when they were doing
So
I only
the
got
pretty.
half
actual
my
thing.
stamps.
There were 400. I was the 430th person to enter, so I've got really good odds. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. like,
Oh, by the way, I would like to thank all the people that told me, "Have you seen Poity?" Poity wasn't there.
oh,
Thank you
that's.
for asking me.
I
Oh,
spent a lot of time asking where he was.
Uh,
uh,
oh, and I had, by the way, I had a really bad experience with a camera. In case anybody wants to know this, if you didn't catch my stream, um, the first day I had cell phone footage. Second day I went live for 3 hours, which was amazing. And then I brought out my little clone GoPro and found out that it did not record audio. So I'm sorry, Liz. Your little blurb that you did for me has no audio. So
uh,
you're now miming it.
I have to publish my interview with Dave of 3D and T printing. I will publish
Yeah.
that tonight, guys. You guys are going to love it. It's fantastic. It'll be published as a
So
short. You're going to love it.
I have a dozen some interviews that I now have to go back to people and beg them to do it over Discord or something.
Do a voiceover.
Yeah, I have to do voiceovers and do other stuff. I feel so bad. And it's all because the camera manufacturer said that it was wireless microphone compatible. And then I come to find out the other day
Oh,
with their tech support, it's only with their microphone.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So,
On the
yeah,
hunt for
I have a lot
Dave's
of work to
interview
do.
right now.
Oh, let's see, maybe. Oh, they drew the winner already. That's cool. That's a hell of a prize.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, what camera was it?
It's an EK7000.
Oh,
Don't buy them. I put a bad review up on Amazon. The
oh.
Formbot camera.
It was a Creality. It was a Creality.
Creality camera. Wait, no, actually, Creality's camera is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them on a few things. Actually, aren't too bad.
Yeah.
But
No, it's a little GoPro wannabe, and the video is beautiful. But yeah, it's just they even offered to have me pay to get their wireless camera, and I'm like, no.
they offered to have you. That was mighty
Yeah,
nice
it was
of them.
hilarious. It was actually hilarious because there I'm like, why I have Roland wireless mics and I have the DJI microphones. Why would I buy your crappy microphone that has no history when I have good microphones?
Right. That sucks.
So I'll be saving money for an actual GoPro. Or one of the new DJI mini, whatever they are. I can't even remember what those things are called now. We were talking about them the other day, but yeah, sadly.
But Clownhammer, let me ask you. Myself and Cap have covered Rocky Mountain on our own streams. What was the
Yes.
what was the thing that you thought was the coolest thing you saw at Rocky Mountain?
I don't know. I didn't got to think about that one. There was quite a bit of good stuff there. The index. Probably the index would be the one thing that stands out, comes to mind right away. The talks were pretty good too. All the talks that they did, there were the ones that I was there for. They were pretty interesting. They did a good job.
I always liked the talks. I didn't figure out where in the world they were being held until
Oh,
all the talks were over. They needed better signage for that. Like a big sign in the middle of the walkway that just said like Maker Talks
yeah, it was
that way.
above the. It was above the. When you went through to go to the south side, there was a sign that Maker Stage or whatever, and then there was a big sign. See, last year it was called the Maker Lounge, and people thought it was where everybody was going to just kind of decompress. They didn't realize that was where all the stuff was going on. It was pretty full for the ones that I was in for. There were quite a few people in there, but it'll be in the same spot next year.
Well, that's kind of what I told Justin last year. Was I kept going to the Maker Lounge because he kept telling me, "Yeah, there's a place you can go chill out," and I kept going to the Maker Lounge.
Right, it was the break room. Yeah, the break room.
I'm like, where in the hell is the break room?
Yeah,
it was over by Tripod.
Yeah.
This year, who was over there last year? Well,
I don't
Fabrico
remember.
wasn't there. Yeah, I know that was where we
Yeah.
hung out, but. And the new games from
But
Polymakers, that game with the catch, that was
Yeah, that was pretty
yeah,
sweet.
that was pretty cool. I gotta say, and the fact that they used other Joe Blow, they just had like GTR Dad was there and Halito and
yep,
somebody else. I can't
Layer by
remember his
layer.
name. Yeah, Layer by Layer was there. There was another guy, Rev something. I think I can't remember his name. But I thought that was pretty cool. They used people from the community.
The
I was
drop
actually
game.
pretty
I don't have a
impressed.
picture of it. I
Yeah.
don't. Drop game was 6 giant ant head tool heads,
Yeah,
and then in the
Yep.
hot end were these
that's it.
batons,
Rev
and
Hazlitt,
they would drop out of the hot end, and you had to catch them.
like a dart. Yeah, Rev Hazlitt. Thanks, Bezos.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rev Hazlitt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 3D&T has the video of Kevin and Terry. Kevin, I think, got 3 of them, 4 of them. I don't know.
I think to me, what was
Oh
one
yeah,
of the more
Mark.
impressive things that nobody broke the Lambo this year.
You're brutal.
Did I
Including
say
them.
that?
You're brutal.
Including.
I'll just turn around and you guys
Yeah,
didn't hear me say that.
well, when we loaded in, so we had an extra day to put the place together, which was nice. And they showed up Friday morning first thing, and they got there really early, and he was putting all the fairings and everything back on it because he didn't want to rip them off going up and down the trailer. So it was pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, the Lambo was pretty cool. Saw
Yeah.
DeLorean in the
Zach,
parking lot. That was a highlight.
Liz, I was
Yeah,
trying to be nice and not mention Zach. Jeez.
it's okay. She outed him. You didn't. No, just kidding.
Yes, she outed him. Yes, I didn't do it.
Zach was an awesome dude. I got to talk to him a fair amount,
Zach is
and
really
Yeah,
cool.
he's yeah.
I love Zach. Um,
I should have asked to try on his monocular thing.
yeah, I wanted to, but I didn't.
I know I kind of chickened out too, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was a good show.
it was very good, and I'm hoping that things don't change so badly here in Colorado that they don't move it next year.
Yeah, are you going to have a certain government agency coming to see what's going on with printers coming from an out? You know what I mean? Are there?
Yeah.
That was mentioned too. That are they going to inspect because all these people are from out of state? They don't know, but nobody does that anyway. I think the printers were printing maker chips. What printers were running maker chips. I don't remember, and little knick-knacky stuff, but not or chocolate.
Yeah.
Cocoa Press was, but otherwise, nobody's printing anything nefarious.
No, but I mean, it's I hope next year that it's bigger and better and even more wild than it was this year. So
I think it's getting. Oh yeah, the printing faces on cookie. Yeah, it's gotten every year. It's grown a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So,
so something that was actually quite fun. I actually asked Justin because I had an idea, and I know we need to wrap up shortly, but I had an idea, and Justin told me if I could get 11 people and 11 more people to join me on this, he'll make it happen. And I
okay.
want to do 3D printed EV go-karts.
3D
I already
printing.
have some stuff for that if you want.
And
Not like the
if
little bikes, but actual go karts.
the actual go-karts, and if you know you know how the ranch is being built right outside the south entrance there, that whole
Right.
thing is a loop, right? It's going to be a big old concrete loop all the way around there.
Oh yeah, make a track.
Oh yeah. 3D printed. No, not just a 3D printed frame. You could use extrusion to make it for fat people.
Make a frame out of extrusions and then 3D like the Lambo.
Yeah.
Make a frame out of extrusions and then print your body panels and.
But, I'm just saying. I think that would be so fun.
That would be a blast. Something else for me to waste money. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, guys, that brings us to the 2-hour mark for the show. Everybody that joined us in chat, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to Captain Kern and the Free Heathen Workshop on YouTube and Twitch. Both, whichever one's your preference, whatever. But check them out. Thanks to everybody that made Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Fest awesome.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next time. I think this weekend I'm going to be doing some content on the Stealth Changer build. Got panels in yesterday. They are pretty sick panels. You're going to want to see these.
Nice.
Outside of that, Captain, Clownhammer, Heathen, what do you guys got going on?
Well, I got this in. So might do some fun with the Ender 5.
Nice.
And I got the Atlantis project going on. So we're printing Stargate Atlantis, the city ship.
Nice. I'll be maintaining my printers since they went several months going crazy, and finally get around to. I bought some boxes, Harbor Freight things I'm printing out that you can put labels on them, and I'll finally get everything organized. Maybe.
This weekend I am doing my charity build. So we're doing the new station wagon. We're printing some of that. Printing maker chips. We'll be doing an alternate design for maker chips. I'm rebuilding my Voron Zero Stealth Changer head, and some video games. And we have to do a new backpack jack for the event. We have to do a new standee jack for the event for Midwest Rep Rap. And I don't know, whatever else sort of piques my interest.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. If you're inclined and want to become a channel member, it's always appreciated. Captain is raising money to get to Murph. So if you'd like to donate to that, he's got links and everything when you get over to his channel. Y'all have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for having me.